He was at some very good position, he was on the mount, and I was able to escape, getting another very good position against him. So, one more time, last one. Gonna control here, gonna bridge. There I am. Guys, on this situation here, what's gonna happen is, I'm all well closed here, and I'm gonna try to do the elbow escape. As soon as I try to do the elbow escape, he's gonna do the counter of the elbow escape. So look, what he's gonna do is he's gonna lift this leg up and move that knee forward. This is the counter attack for the elbow escape. So look, I'm gonna try to set up the elbow escape. He lifts this leg up and he drives his knee forward. So now there's no elbow escape here anymore. Look, he completely killed my elbow escape. So guys, if I stop here, he can start attacking my neck. He can try to go to my back. He can try to get the kind of like underhook here and get my arm. So this can be a very, very bad position for me. So I should come up with one defense here right away. So what I'm going to do is, I already have this hand here on his pants. I'm going to place my both hands on his pants. Now I'm going to kind of stay flat here a little bit. I'm going to bridge, push his leg away, and bring my knee in. And I'm going to end up on the one leg X here again. Right? So let's see again. He's on the mount. I'm going to try to do the elbow escape. He's going to do the counter. Once he did the counter, we know if we stop here, he's going to be able or to catch my back or attack my neck, attack my arm. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to control his pants with my both hands. I'm going to bridge up, push his leg high like that, and I'm going to bring my knee in and my foot on his ribs, like the one leg X-er. Also here, I have a bunch of options to sweep him. And once again, he was at some very good position, and now I am some very good position here. So I was able to escape, bringing him to a great option to sweep. So one more time. Let's do one more time from the other angle. I'm going to control his both pants, bridge up, and elbow escape, and the one leg X-er. Okay guys, so now let's see some escapes from the back. So first let's just try to understanding the principles here about how should I be when someone gets my back here. So guys, first thing, let's imagine the guy got my back, he placed the both hooks, he already scored the points, and then he's trying to choke me. So guys, first thing I should try to do is always protect my neck, right? I should be really focused on my neck right here, right? So I'm always going to try to close myself like this. Look, I'm going to bend like my neck and place my both hands around my neck here. I don't want to let my neck anything exposure, right? So let's imagine he's trying to set up the seat belt, right? And he just got here. So guys, what I'm going to try to do here is, as I have my both hands closed, his arm is already like far from my lapel. Look, he's not getting my lapel yet. So this hand here is going to protect his choke hand. So this is like his choke hand, right? So this hand that was protecting my neck, I'm going to move lower to protect his choke hand, right? Once I did that, now my other hand is going to go all the way down here behind his triceps. So that's how I would try to start my defense. So look, I was all closed like this, right? And then he's going to try to set up his seat belt. This hand that was protecting my neck is going to stop his choke hand. This is the hand that would choke me. So now he cannot get my lapel over there to set up the chokes, right? So I'm going to try to keep his hand low. Now one time that's very common is, for example, he tried to switch this over. He tried to go with the other hand over to try to go there. So I'm going to do the same thing. Look, this hand's protecting my neck. Now it's going to protect his wrist. And if I need, I can switch everything to this side. But I always have to worry about the hand that's coming up over my shoulder. So if you try to come with that other hand, this hand's going to protect the wrist and I'm going to switch. And that's the game. So for example, we have to understand that we have to have our both hands protecting here. Whoever hand is coming up over my shoulder, I have to stop it. So look, my hand is going to control his wrist and now I'm able to control behind his triceps or control his gi anywhere here. But I have to stop his hand to reach my lapel, right? So my posture right here on the back would be like this. Look, I have my neck closed with my both hands like protecting his hand to come close to me, right? As soon as I see some hand coming over my shoulder, I'm going to block it and control it. And then I'm able to start my escapes, right? So one more time. I'm all well closed here. He's going to set up his seat belt, for example. Look, he got the seat belt. I'm going to control his wrist, and I'm going to make sure that his choke hand doesn't cross this line. So what I mean, I don't want his choke hand coming to my neck, and I don't want his choke hand coming to my lapel, because then he can start the chokes. So my hand has always to protect the hand that's coming over my shoulder. That's the hand that is going to be called like choke hand. So I'm going to protect, and then I'm able to start the escape. So guys, we just saw about the principles when someone is on my back, right? I should try to close my both arms here and don't let his choke hand goes over to my lapel or goes over to my neck. So his choke hand in this case is this one over here, right? The one that's over my shoulder. Always remember, always the one that's over my shoulder. He cannot choke with this hand, but he can easily choke with this arm. So I'm all closed here, and I'm gonna block his choke hand, right? Also I place this hand here on his wrist. Now I'm gonna control his other arm. I can control behind his triceps. That should be the best place, the correct place, but I feel more comfortable controlling just like this. Because on this way, if he tries to attack with his other hand going over, my hand is just here to protect my neck as well. So I'm gonna keep my both hands here on his wrist. Now guys, the side that I'm supposed to escape is always the opposite side of the choke hand. So should be that side. So look, once I have his arm here, I'm gonna move all my bar towards this way, right? Once I did that, the top of my head goes to the mat, and I'm gonna bridge up. When I bridge up, look what happens with his hooks. I'm gonna bridge up. He's almost missing one hook over there. So what I'm gonna do, my left hand keeps on his wrist, my right hand is gonna slap his foot down. I did it. Now I'm gonna hip escape, hip escape, hip escape. If I need, I can break his seat belt. Look, I can use this hand to break his seat belt. I'm gonna control his pants, keep hip escape, keep hip escape. Now there are two chances. Or I'm gonna come up, or he's gonna come up. If he come up, I'm gonna keep hip escape and recover my guard here. Or halfway, or I can try to close the guard or anything. Most important thing, he was on my back, and now he's not anymore. Now he's at some type of guard here. That's my favorite one, is the Z guard. So look guys, he just got my back, right? So if you got my back, first thing, don't stay as I am. Close yourself. Close, put your both hands on your neck. Now, my hand is gonna defend his choke hand. That is the one that's over on top of my shoulder. So I'm just gonna control it. I don't want him getting my lapel or getting his hand on my neck. Now my second hand is gonna go here on his wrist as well. I don't like putting behind the triceps because I feel if he goes to the other side with the other hand, he's very close to my neck. So I like to place it here. Now if you try to switch this arm on top to choke me to the other side, my hand is very close to my neck as well. So I'm gonna stay like this. Once I did that, now is the time that I'm gonna go to that side. That's the side that I'm supposed to choke him. The side that he doesn't have his arm on top of my shoulder. So I'm gonna go there. Once I did that, I'm gonna place the top of my head on the mat and I'm gonna bridge up. It's really important to do that, being sure that you are controlling his wrist. Don't do like this and open your neck, because your neck is all exposed. So I'm gonna control like this, place my head on the mat and bridge. Once I do the bridge, many times he misses his hook. If he doesn't miss his hook, I'm gonna slap it with this hand. I did it. Now I'm gonna start hip escape and I'm gonna break this grip here. I'm gonna break his seatbelt. So I'm gonna hip escape, hip escape, hip escape. He's gonna come up and I'm gonna set up like a Z guard over here. And that's one of my favorite positions, the Z guard. So look, I got to escape from the back, going straight to my favorite position. And even if you don't play halfway or anything like this, as long as it's a guard, was a very good deal. Because he was on my back and now I have him on my guard. And from here I could easily put him in the close guard, set up the spider guard, whatever you like better. So one more time, last one. Let's do on this angle here. Guys, on this situation here, I'm gonna show how to escape from the back, going straight to the deep half grip. So, as we are seeing on all subjects, first thing I'm gonna do, I'm always gonna respect the principles. So the principles would be like close myself as much as I can. So close my buff elbows, place my buff hands on my neck, and he's gonna set up the seat belt. I could try to stop his seat belt before he set up, but let's imagine he already have it. So he has the seat belt. So this hand that was protecting my neck on this side, now the goal of this hand is to block the choke hand, right? The other hand, I'm gonna place it here on his wrist. I like on his wrist because if you try to go with this hand over my shoulder, if you try to switch everything, my hand is just here ready to block it as well, right? So I'm like this. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to the same way that we did before, the most basic way to escape from the back here. So I'm gonna place my head on the mat, bridge up, deep escape. Guys, now when I'm getting on this point here, when I pass over his leg, when I feel like, okay, I got escaped from the back, instead of trying to go, for example, for the open guard or for the Z guard or anything like that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna control his pants, I'm gonna keep hipping escape, and I'm gonna place my hand underneath his leg. Once I did that, I'm gonna shake, 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 and I'm gonna end up here on what I call like half deep half, right? So let's see again. He's on my back, I have my principles here, I'm all well closed. This hand that was protecting the neck is gonna block his choke hand. This other hand I'm gonna place on his wrist. If any time he switches this hand to over my shoulder, I'm gonna block it. And now I'm gonna go to this side, right? This is the side that I'm supposed to escape, right? So once I'm here, I'm gonna place my head on the mat, bridge up, and get out of this hook. Guys, if I want, it's always good to try to break his seatbelt. Because if his seatbelt, he's always able to try to recover to get everything again, bring me over to the other side. So if you have the chance to break the seatbelt, do it. So look, hip escape and break it in the same time. Once I pass it over his leg over there, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure that my hip is away from his leg, and I'm gonna switch this hand underneath his leg, right? Once I did that, I'm gonna control his pants, and I'm gonna hip escape and get him on the half deep half, right? So look guys, he was on my back, and he ended up on my deep half. That's one of my strongest positions. So look, I'm gonna follow my principles here. Gonna control his wrist. Gonna control his forearm. Gonna go to the side that I'm supposed to escape. Place my head on the mat. Bridge. Take out his hook. Right? Once I did that, I'm gonna make sure I got out of his leg here. In the same time, I'm gonna work on to break the seat belt as well. So this hand, the same one that I used to slap his foot down, I'm gonna break the seat belt. When I feel that my hip came out of his leg, I'm gonna set up the half deep halfer. So my hand's gonna go underneath his leg, and there I am. So one more time, another angle.